the brain is built to find shortcuts. Your human brain, all of us, our brain likes process and pattern, and it likes to be able to reach a conclusion quickly because it wants to conserve energy.
Yep.
And the process of thinking is an intensive, energy draining process. So that's why the brain really likes to be able to do things automatically. It's why we get muscle memory. It's why we memorize. It's why, it's the reason that things look familiar to us. It's not because we're so smart or we're so good. It's because our brain is literally wired so that it can very quickly learn a pattern and repeat the pattern and save itself the energy of having to process thought. So these three biases that you present are exactly like the things the brain wants to do.
Right.
When it comes to the availability bias, it wants to connect recent things with current things.
Right.
It wants to be able to say, oh, I heard someone talk about key lime pie yesterday, and I'm at a restaurant that has key lime pie on the menu today. Key lime pie sounds delicious. I'm going to eat some key lime pie. It's not that you actually wanted it. It's just that you've been exposed to it. You've heard it now several times. And because you've heard it, you think that this key lime pie must be good because your friend was talking about a different key lime pie that was good. In reality, that's not true.
Right.
The key lime pie that your friend had yesterday from a different restaurant has no impact on the key lime pie you're about to have today at this restaurant. Just because it was top of mind doesn't mean it's good.
Right.
Right? Mere exposure is another excellent example. In mere exposure, now you're hearing a certain topic talked about over and over again. And just by virtue of how often you hear it, especially if you're hearing the same narrative over and over again, you start to believe that narrative must be true, right? So whether that's people talking about how bad the school districts are in Florida, right? Oh, school districts in Florida are terrible. Oh, Florida public schools are horrible. Florida public schools are horrible. You hear it over and over again all throughout Florida. You hear about it if you're an education professional all over the world. You hear about it at educational conferences. There are absolutely bad districts in Florida, but there are also very good ones.
Right.
Right? So just because you're being exposed to the negative commentary about a topic doesn't necessarily mean that negative commentary is true. And vice versa, if you're being told the positive commentary, that's just what you're being exposed to.
Right.
That doesn't make it true.
Right. Yeah.
And you're totally right that media has, for its own survival, media has to have these feeding frenzies on topics that are of interest to their audience. So we're seeing it right now with Israel Hamas, just like you said. We saw it with Ukraine Russia just a few weeks ago. Do you remember when Prigozhin's plane exploded in the sky?
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard anyone talk about that?
Right.
For a few weeks, it was all anybody talked about. And now for the last probably month and a half, nobody has said anything about it.
Right.
Because the exposure has shifted to a different topic.
Right.
And that's the problem with media, is media has to shift exposure so that it can stay relevant, so it can get people to read what the newspaper has to say. Right. Meanwhile, we, the people, are being hammered, just like you said, hammered in our news feed, hammered in television with just one topic. And depending on whether you read left-leaning or right-leaning news sources, the narrative is going to be very strong, and you're going to be hit over and over again with the same narrative until you start to believe, through mere exposure bias, that narrative is accurate. If you like this short clip, make sure you click here to see the next clip, or here to see the full podcast episode.
Freedom! So fresh, so new. Freedom!